The following channel is received via James Tiburon from Archangel Metatron. It is entitled The Nature, Origin, Source and Divine Consciousness of Cats and Dogs. The Sacred Felidae of Sirius A. All copyrights of this information are duly reserved to James Tiburon and www.earthkeeper.com. The content of this original channel is timely and truly fascinating information. Do take time to listen to the complete channel. It is extremely important and very interesting. The texted version of this extraordinary channel is found in James Tiburon's book entitled 2038, The Next Quantum Leap, and this book is available for purchase on our Earthkeeper website. Namaste.
The true conscious nature and myriad benefits of cats and dogs. Archangel Metatron via James Tiburon. Greetings, Masters. I am Metatron, Lord of Light. I am joined by Tiburon of Crystalline Service in this session, and we embrace you in a vector of unconditional love. Masters, as year 4 of the new planet Earth progresses, you are experiencing in 2016, one of the most unique and intense astrological patterns of your lifetime. This is a time which requires all of you to raise your vibrations. This is a time in which all unresolved energies are surfacing by design in a cosmic alignment of what we term as purposed crucible astrology. In this succinct astronomical phase, each and every one of you will all be challenged, for this is a patterning within linear time, for requisite clearing. This is a necessary purging, afforded both for humanity as a whole, and for each of you in your individual life sojourns. This clearing of unresolved negative energy is important, for this cleansing opens the door for the coming golden age, which begins in 2038. You are learning, as these frequential energies increase, many essential lessons. Among these essential learnings is the realization that true happiness is based on one's internal attitude, and not on external events. And in this time of great change and shift, you are also learning the importance of caring for the planet, as well as the kingdoms of the earth. And so, dear ones, today's channel is a re-sharing of the benefits that are given to you through the unconditional love of an aspect of the animal kingdom, and we are speaking of cats and dogs. For these beings, which you think of as simply pets, are far more than humanity realizes in current times. Cats and dogs are of divine source, and offer many benefits to humanity that are sadly not truly appreciated nor recognized. And in this channel, we focus on explaining their extraterrestrial source, true nature and benevolent purpose. Joining us for this interesting channel are those benevolent beings of Sirius A, those fully evolved light beings of divine intelligence, termed as the Sacred Felidae. We welcome you, each of you here. And in this message, we will share fascinating information regarding how cats and dogs offer incredible service, unconditional love, healing, and many other important benefits to humanity. And how these loving angelic-esque beings that you think of as pets actually are part of you, and indeed, that portion can and does reincarnate with you, dear ones. With the understanding that you are here for learning, we tell you that the University of Polarity Earth is specifically designed for the evolution of the human soul. Let us repeat, the Earth plane is uniquely purposed for the evolution of the human soul. The curriculum and venue of Polarity Earth, the educational process, is in fact a version of the Omni-Earth, created and co-created in divine intelligence. 3D Earth is a purposed illusion. It is created by purposed thought, and thus cannot be destroyed. Consider that. That does not mean you do not have responsibilities in the care of Earth and its supporting kingdoms, for indeed that is part of the learning process. The purpose of the Earth plane. Listen carefully. The purpose of the Earth plane is your soul growth, your soul evolution. And, Masters, the Earth supports you in that growth. The Earth supports that mission, by divine plan, by agreement, and all of the kingdoms of Earth are part of that. Accordingly, we tell you that there are versions of other beings that are of divine intelligence, here to support you, to support mankind, in your purpose here. These include master beings from many realms. Some make visitations here to support you, and some chosen of these come in full avatar consciousness. But be aware that there are versions of benevolent master beings that have by agreement chosen to manifest in various step-down forms to support humanity. Those of the animal kingdom on the earth are here to support you. Part of that process involves their expression on the earth plane in group consciousness. The deepest dimensions of the animal self exist not at the level of the individual, but of the entire species. And that highest level is not enrolled in the duality lesson, per se. And so we speak this gathering of the sacred Felidae of Sirius A. The sacred Felidae and Canidae are incredible beings that bring tremendous support to humanity. The Felidae are divine intelligence, fully evolved, magnificently conscious in crystalline expression. They are members of both the Sirian Pleiadian Alliance, and of what may be termed the Niberian Mastery Council, both of whom are benevolently involved in the upshift of the consciousness evolution of planets and planetary races, who are prepared to graduate into the next level in their evolution into ascension states. The Felidae. The Felidae are a feline species who originate on Sirius A. These are beings that have entered the earth plane since ancient times in specific roles and formats. The versions currently in physical form on the earth plane are in what may be termed the feline and canine family, cats and dogs. These physical formats on the earth plane are here to support you, and in their physical matrix are but a small portion of the advanced consciousness of their true Sirian nature. That is because the Felidae expression on the earth are in group soul format, and are not here to evolve as a species, but rather to support the earth, and as we said, to assist humanity in mankind's evolution. The greater part of the Felidae consciousness is above the level of the earth plane. The feline operate vastly in the ethereal or stealth antimatter realm. Their full consciousness existed and manifested in earlier phases of the earth plane. They were in fact demigods, masters and teachers, in full divine intelligence in Lemuria, Atlantis, Og, ancient Greece, ancient Gobi, and in early Egyptian eras. The masters of the sacred Felidae were involved in the genetic engineering, in the Temple of Purification, on Poseida, in Atlantis, during the golden age of the Law of One. This was done in a very positive and benevolent manner, prior to such technology being tragically misused by the Aryan sons of Belial, in the sad demise of the final era of Atlantis. The Felidae of Sirius A and Cetacean Sirian B masters are skilled at integrating spirit into physical matter. This, in not only giving life force to a physical form, but also in integrating higher chakric levels of consciousness within the physical matrix and Merkana level multidimensionality. This ability to work with humanity in energetic terms involves activating higher chakras and higher crystal light bodies. This higher level of consciousness is the crystal's consciousness, and the cetaceans are crystalline masters. Their renewed role on the Earth includes assisting the shift transition from the declining magnetic polarity grid to the evolving 144 crystalline grid. Question to Metatron from James Tiburon. So are the beings from Sirius B primarily aquatic, and the beings from Sirius A actually feline? Metatron responds. In truth, these beings are in their source matrix, now fully evolved into light state, non-physical forms. The habited realm circulating Sirius B is primarily aquatic, and the cetaceans, the dolphin and whale, are aquatic in their current Earth plane expressions, yet also of a high enough consciousness to manifest physical form that can equally habituate within both aqueous realms and what would be termed land. The life forms of the sister star Sirius A are different expressions than the cetaceans. Sirius A enlivens humanoid life, starseed, as well as the sacred starseed Felidae. These are all beings of divine intelligence that all have varied expression, supporting the Earth plane. These all interact with your planet on many levels in myriad forms. Question to Metatron from James Tiburon. You have mentioned that only humans are in soul evolution on planet Earth. Aren't the dolphins and whales also in a high state of consciousness and evolution? Metatron responds. The sacred cetaceans are indeed in a high state of evolution, but they are not on the Earth to evolve. They are already evolved. So understand, they are on the Earth to support the Earth and assist mankind in so doing. The cetacean are physically on the Earth to anchor the energy in the aquatic portions of the Earth, to enable the planetary balance and facilitate the shift from magnetic to crystalline. The etheric, non-physical return of the golden dolphin are the sacred cetaceans, in full avatar mastery, directly assisting humanity to evolve into crystalline Merkana field. The Felidae are assisting humanity in physical manifestation, but have also assisted in etheric mastery, particularly in Atlantis, Central America and Egypt. But in the present, stepped-down form, assist you in emotional and mental fields. And this is the primary topic of today's discourse, that of the Felidae, in expression of feline and canine. Question to Metatron from James Tiburon. I am intrigued by the information on the Felidae and canidae of Sirius A. Are you speaking of cats and dogs? Can you expand on this? Metatron responds. Certain breeds of what may be termed as house cats and dogs are indeed uniquely designed derivations of the starseed Felidae. They perform specific roles in assisting humans. The house versions of cats and domestic dogs are genetically engineered from the golden age of Atlantis. The genetic engineering was benevolently done by the Sirian Pleiadian alliance and is an extremely helpful action, as stated, to assist humanity as humans became more densely ingrained in the Earth plane. Now, what you term as canine and feline are of the same source. Both are derivations of the starseed Felidae. Cats and dogs are different physical forms of the same source. The Felidae of Sirius A are a fully conscious crystalline being. They have melded into a group unity consciousness, yet still retain a spectral individual identities with a greater harmonic field. The group field chooses to assist humanity in your universe and others. Cats and dogs. Both cats and dogs, in this derivation, are serving as benevolent energy-giving assistants, in service to humans, to their caretakers. Both have the capacity to meld their energy fields with a human, and are uniquely capable of becoming personality fragments of their human caretakers. That is why they can often begin to display the physical characteristics of their owners, although this particular aspect occurs more commonly with the canine. The canine exudes an extreme loyalty and unconditional love, a dedication that energetically is received by the human and can assist in many ways. The dogs and cats become not only companions, but also healers and protectors. The feline, the cat, is much more in the ethereal, antimatter realm, in its conscious field. That is why many past societies worship the feline forms of jaguar, lion, tiger and puma. The felines, the cat, in particular, are extremely aware of thought forms, of ethereal realms and offer a stealth strength and protection. The house cat is capable of tremendous protection for their caretakers, providing psychic protection from untoward thought forms and negative energies. Certain breeds of dogs have this ability as well, but it is expressed and enacted differently. Vibrational healing. The purring of a cat is very beneficial in healing, repairing, and protecting the human aura. The mystical aspect of cats has long been recognized, and temple cats were used in many ancient societies as psychic realm companions and allies of the mystic priests and shaman. The lupus, wolf breeds, and other canine species have this ability as well. Both cats and dogs have the capacity to sense and see in far greater dimensionality than the human eye. They are able to vividly sense and visually see thought forms and energies, and are indeed quite capable of repelling and effectively dispersing negative energies. The therapy and service of cats and dogs in working with abused children, terminally ill patients, and the depressed and elderly in nursing homes are examples of significant pet therapy healing being more and more recognized. This will be expanded even further in the future. Cats see above visible light and can actually see the human auric field, the human crystal-electromagnetic field, CEF, and all manner of energy emanations invisible to the human eye. The wide spectrum that cats perceive in light fields, astral realms, and other dimensions is quite amazing. Cats sense and see in realms of both physical and non-physical matter, and into even higher fields of non-matter. Cats also are uniquely able to assist humans in not only better understanding their dreams and dream world interludes, but also capable of assisting you in more lucid awareness while in an ongoing dream. We tell you that cats are capable of observing the dream you are in and interacting within to actually provide protection for you in a nightmare in which negative thought forms, fears or dark energies have attached. Now, dogs are more in the field of matter, and dogs sense or feel the human auric field, and are extremely capable of understanding the direct resonance of the human emotional field. Additionally, felidae canine dogs assist in helping humans better understand their feelings and emotional blockages, and help humans work through them into a better state of balance. We will speak more on these attributes further into this discussion. The service of seeing eye dogs with the blind is another area of service in which great bonds are created. Dogs are able to feel and indeed smell myriad forms of illness, anomalies and dis-ease within the human body. They will often lay their own bodies in the area of the human malady and transfer energy to assist in rebalancing the area of imbalance. They will also mentally project awareness to the human of the malady in direct telepathic communication. Cats will provide a similar service, but the feline's sense of the human imbalance is visually observed. A cat sees the human auric field in great clarity, in vivid color and detail. Areas of malady will appear discolored to the feline. The cat will often lay on the area and purr, or exude a balancing frequency or color to assist the rebalance. Cats have the ability of increasing immunity levels within the human. and this has been studied and confirmed by your medical sciences to a small degree. But as yet there is no understanding of why or how this occurs. But studies have shown that cat owners are less likely to develop certain forms of cancer and respiratory illness. Studies also show that dog and cat caretakers, owners, are less likely to have high blood pressure, heart disease and diabetes, and live longer. And we tell you, speaking directly to James Tiburon, the 2 cats and 2 mall dogs that live with you played a key role in assisting your partner in her recovery from her illness, blood clots and surgeries. The gray female cat became particularly involved with providing balancing energies to Anne, and both of you noted her sudden behavioral pattern shifting. The small male dog also became very focused on Anne's well-being and actually increased his body temperature while he lay in her lap, in order to provide her with additional body heat in the colon area. Unique melding with human consciousness. The version of Felidae and Canidae that are cats and dogs are but a fragment of the full consciousness and energy spectrum of their Sirian aspects. Yet this expression is specifically and purposefully designed to be so, for these beings can become so bonded with the humans they serve, that a unique third consciousness can succinctly evolve between the human and the pet, that is extremely beneficial to the evolvement of the human caretaker. The earthen consciousness of the dogs and cats operates more on thought patterns with powerful instinctual triggers. Their designed, benevolent, divinely agreed DNA engineering is such that certain animals with human contact, specifically cats, dogs and horses, have a unique and divinely purposed ability to become allied, programmed in a partnership with the human they are working with. When this partnership occurs, these beings are able to telepathically receive thought images sent by their caretaker. Just as human thought can program a living crystal, the same occurs, albeit in a different format, with dogs and cats. It may be termed as the formation of a third meld, or personality fragment blend, aspect, of the human within the cat or dog. The pet then is capable of assisting the human, in both physical and emotional ways. The cat, or dog will have a telepathic communication with the human, having an incredible ability to pick up direct mental images of the human caretaker's thoughts and emotions. This enables the pet to provide comfort, energy, healing and companionship. This bond allows the pet to detect illness and seal auric ruptures in the human, as well as offer a very real etheric protection in both physical and etheric realms. Many humans have household pets, in cats and dogs, that help them work through blockages. One of the most common occurrences is that these beings help you awaken your ability to express love. It is very easy to express and give affection to the household animal, and for many humans, this is far easier than expressing love and kindness to other humans. Depending on the individual, this blockage can occur for many reasons. Very often as humans grow older, children move away and a spouse passes over, a seeming natural period of lonely isolation sets in. The interaction with the pet can awaken the flow of love through fond endearment. This interaction awakens the core life force in the isolated human caretaker, and an interplay that is very therapeutic occurs. We tell you that there is far more design and intelligence in the willing participation of the Felidae and Canidae than is recognized. The third meld of humans and pets. When this third consciousness through interaction is formed, it expands the field of both parties. It awakens within it characteristics that neither of the parties involved had prior. In other words, it expands, it stretches the emotional field awareness, and indeed the third meld consciousness, and this reaches back into, and changes, the individual awareness of both. The pet opens up your ability to remain positive, in allowing you to express love, and you teach it in a manner of speaking, to channel the greater part of its divine Sirian consciousness in doing so. Your willingness for the interaction allows it to achieve its specific purpose, and there is an important growth on both sides unique to the field created between the two of you. The pet operated in group consciousness prior to the melding blend with a human, and the individuality of it was formed in the bond with a human. Do you understand? Question to Metatron from J. Tiburon. Are you saying that animals are not individual unless they blend with a human to form the consciousness meld with humans? A. Metatron. In a manner of speaking, yes. That is what we are saying. But to be clear, we are not saying that animals do not have individual aspects before the meld. Each are incarnate in physical bodies, and are indeed subject to the gravitational characteristics, to some degree, that occur in the astrological influences in all life on the earth. But they operate fully and only in group soul awareness, until the meld with humans uniquely occurs. That interaction is succinct and builds a personality fragment capable of growing. But we are not saying that animals do not have a group purpose without the meld. The group purpose is transformed into a singular service in the expanded field by means of the human interaction with the group soul of the household pet as expressed in the individual cat or dog. It is therefore the human interaction that creates the individual field within the pet. So in a manner of speaking, the animal has agreed to be benevolently programmed in blend with the mental field, emotional field and personality of the human caretaker for higher purpose. This is how the third field is created. And the third field is a fragment of the human consciousness that benefits both, you see. Yet the primary purpose is to benefit the human, a service provided by the Felidae. But there is a choice to accept the human on the part of the Felidae, and mutual trust is required by both parties. And when that trust is present and the agreement is mutually accepted, the greater role of the group soul can be fed into the meld. This then enables a unique communication involving wisdom, as well as a projected field of protection and healing given from the pet to the human. So understand this third meld is a conduit that is very far-reaching, but only occurs by trusting agreement. The Atlanteans, Lemurians and Egyptians in particular, interacted with the Felidae in roles of guardianship and wisdom transfer. The Egyptian temples contain many hieroglyphs depicting the Felidae as having feline heads and human torsos and limbs, complete with the solar disk of enlightenment. The Sphinx is the reverse, the human head with a feline body. Question to Metatron from James Tiburon. How exactly do cats and dogs offer protection to humans? Is this by their greater awareness of other dimensions? A. Metatron. Yes. By specifically being much more in tune to other realms, that are, as we have explained, somewhat invisible to human physical senses. The guardianship, in the specific forms as described, in household pets, which are very unique versions, of advanced Sirian beings, is performed in a beautiful manner, and that is through, not only the detection of what may be termed negative energies, but by neutralizing those very untoward energies, by emitting powerful countering projections of benevolent loving energy vibrations that are orchestrated through the Sirian Felidae to the human. The Sirian beings, the cats and dogs, diagnoses exactly what is needed, and channels the necessary vibration to assist the human caretaker. You do not always recognize that you induce auric fracturing when you become depressed or highly upset. These states form negative fields that open you to untoward auric attachments, which are energetically draining. When a cat purrs, the vibration is of a deep contentment, and the frequency within that vibration is very healing, capable of evaporating negative fields by neutralizing them. Likewise, when dogs playfully jump and run, often in joyous spins, they are, like the dolphin, forming energy vortexes, capable of cleansing the energies and offering a channeled frequency, which is extremely beneficial to the environment, not only removing negative vibrations, but creating a shield to eliminate their re-entry. When cats seem to patrol the perimeter of a room, house or yard, they are also exuding an immense and potent protective shielding vibrational field. We will tell you that the felidae and the canidae, the feline and canine, are from the same root source of Sirius A, although their expressions on Sirius A are fully evolved. As we have told you, the household versions of these beings are in fact physical formats, genetically engineered by the Sirians, to assist humanity in the ways we are herewith discussing. Question to Metatron from J. Tiburon. To be clear, are you saying that cats and dogs are from the same Sirian source? A. Metatron. In the higher original source, yes. Both of the one crystalline fully evolved mastery of Sirius A, the felidae. Cats and dogs are from the same source. On Sirius they are now crystalline light beings, not physical from your perspective, appearing in crystalline light forms. As we mentioned, the felidae have manifested in full avatar mastery at various times on your planet to assist you. The felidae are masters of incorporating spirit into physicality and assisted in the original engineering of full-strand DNA for mankind. Indeed, the races of humanity contain Sirian felidae aspects in their DNA, some more than others. The very athleticism and agility prevalent in some humans draws on this, to give one of many aspectual examples. Question to Metatron. From J. Tiburon. As an item of curiosity, if they are of the same Sirian source, why do dogs chase cats? A. Metatron. Dogs only chase cats until they catch them. At that point the tables usually turn, and quite quickly. Laughter. The short answer is that dogs work in the physical realm, and cats, more in the non-physical. As in matter, and non-matter. Both completing the opposing sides of the torus, one inward, one outward. We will also say that in a real sense, dogs and cats are inverses of the same frequency, when expressed on the earth plane. That is why cats generally sleep 16 hours and are active 8 hours, and the reverse schedule is true for dogs. Generally speaking, the feline, the domesticated cats, tend to be more introverted, and the canine, dogs, more external, or extroverted. Their frequencies are then inward, in the former, and more outward, in the latter, and naturally attract one another, not repulse. You will find that dogs and cats raised together, or living in the same household, do develop special, loving bonds. This particularly occurs in an enhanced manner, when the animals have had past sojourns, in which the fragment of personalities, with the human's form. As an example, you, speaking to James Tiburon, have 2 cats, and 2 dogs in your home. They work together and share a very complex and deep bond. We will also add that one of the dogs, the female, has been feline, in the past more often than canine. The sacred felidae, in their earth plane manifestation, have retained the unique ability to operate simultaneously, in inner and outer world projections, much more than humans. At any one time in which you observe the physical, material manifestation of a felidae, they are equally conscious of being fully manifested, simultaneously, in other dimensional planes. Quite often they interact within the other realms, while present physically in this one. Linear filters of consciousness. Although humans also simultaneously exist in other levels, humans in 3D cannot interpret the frequencies of the other realms in consistency or lucid clarity through the physical brain alone. The mind, which is the inner counterpart of the brain, can at times perceive the far greater dimensions, of any given event through a crystal-electric burst of sudden intuition or comprehension that cannot be adequately described on a verbal level. The crystalline electrical impulses that are perceivable within your 3D system are merely a tiny fraction of the vast crystal-electrical system in the cosmos. A human's physical brain is, on its own, quite incapable of accurate perception or deciphering the frequencies of a 3D polarity. It is impossible, in the physical brain alone, to even grasp the myriad complexity and dimension of the crystal-electrical potential and dimensional vibratory actuality, as it truly exists. And although these higher dimensional realms are in fact accessible in Arcana, via higher mind, non-physical levels are not accessed by the brain alone in the human, rather they must be developed in Arcana light body, through the focal theta field of mind. So we tell you to keep in mind that the true origin, the eternal source and power of your divine intelligence and consciousness has never been rooted in the physical. Each and every human exists in other worlds, different realities, and other dimensions, and the self that you call yourself is but a small portion of your entire identity. Because of the filters inherent to the physical brain, you are capable of focusing on the physical world around you, and it is that focus that enables you to eventually master the physical plane. We assure you that there is purpose in the filtering, for if the physical brain, with the ego personality were unscreened, and thus fully aware of the vast and constant barrage of telepathic communications that do impinge upon it, it would have a most difficult time retaining a sense of identity in linear perception. It is because of the ego consciousness that you have a powerful identity awareness of the physical realm, for you are in physical with specific purpose. But we say again, it is not your true identity in the cosmic overview. While in physicality, the human brain is simply not equipped in linear mode to be able to make sense of the signals coming in from higher dimensions. Your standard brain can't read them. To the brain, these impulses appear to be a chaotic melange of disconnected flash images. The ego personality brain-based, in linear time cannot perceive data that is not based upon sequential continuity of moments. Interestingly, certain of the animal kingdom, particularly the Felidae, can. So with this axiom that Felidae and certain Canidae do operate more effectively in other coinciding planes, we tell you that is precisely why these beings were recognized by more aware societies as guardians. It is why a dog will bark, or a household cat will move in quick reaction to energies unseen by the human eye. Your academics understand that there are spectrums of light. You also understand that the average human is only capable of physical vision in the narrow spectrum termed visible light. The Felidae and certain Canidae are capable of seeing and sensing in a much wider sensory range. We tell you that physical matter also occurs in spectrum waves. So are there varying spectrums of matter, and felines and lupines see and interact within these alternate dimensions far more lucidly than humanity. Your system of physical reality on the Earth plane is not nearly as wide-reaching or complex in relative comparison with many others. The dimensions given to the narrow spectrum of physical matter barely hint at the prolific varieties of higher, non-physical dimensions. You do not recognize, as yet, the nature of the non-physical in your own galaxy, much less the cosmos. We tell you that universes can exist within a molecule, and other versions of Earth validly coexist where you now sit to read or hear these words. The animal kingdom, forgotten teachers. These beings that in current terms would be considered of the animal kingdom have taught humans far more than you presently recognize. The beings that you term animals operate in great intelligence, albeit it in a thought pattern an instinctual vibratory programming matrix uniquely formatted to the natural aspect of the earth plane. On an aspectual level far more comprehensive than you currently grasp, the animal kingdom are here by agreement to support humanity on many levels. Their understanding of the earth plane is a university of development for humanity is extended, from and back, to their mastery source. Their mental format pattern, in the earthly expression, is such that humans are held somewhat blameless. Although humanity does have a huge responsibility to treat the animal kingdom with respect, the animal kingdom do not place guilt on humans. Their chosen mental pattern upon the earth is formatted in such a manner that guilt is not an expression contained within it. Rather, it is a pattern of instinct, and benevolently capable of unconditional love and support. One of the differences between the cat and dog expressions of the Felidae is that dogs are more in the physical realm than cats. From an overview, cats are far more etheric within the antimatter field, while dogs much more in matter. Dogs react more to the direct frequency of your emotions, whereas cats react more to vibration and light emanations. Dogs will feel and react to anger and guilt in a more tangible way than cats. Cats are guilt-free. Cats cannot, and do not, experience guilt, and that detachment from direct human emotional waves is why cats may seem aloof. But to be clear, we are not saying that cats do not have a deep understanding of your thoughts. Indeed, they are incredibly telepathic. Animal totems, the animal kingdom, have a more full, vast understanding and awareness of the other conscious kingdoms of the earth, and have always had the ability to teach that to mankind. You have in current times largely forgotten, quite unfortunately, how much you learned from all of the beings of the animal kingdom. Humanity, in campestral societies and indigenous cultures, learned a great deal of medicine, of nutrition from watching animal behavior in interaction with the plant kingdom. Humanity observed carefully which plants were edible, what plants to avoid, and which fruits, shoots, roots, and vegetables to cultivate. You learned survival techniques, and indeed social behavior, by not only watching the animals, but by intuitively communicating with them. In earlier sojourns and formative epochs, mankind far more closely identified with, and understood, the intelligence and wisdom offered by the natural, instinctual patterns of the animal kingdom, and recognized them as wise teachers. And as a result they identified with humanity, and indeed interacted with humanity to a truly remarkable degree. The animal spirits, or totems, recognized and honored as wisdom carriers by the Native Americans, are examples of the higher group collective of their complete, expansive, off-planet consciousness, ethereally manifesting to assist mankind. The knowledge and intuitive communication of the animal kingdom with the elemental and devic consciousness of the living earth, the mineral, fire and air is a precise understanding that could be of great assistance, affording forward signals to humanity in this time of earth changes. Question to Metatron from J. Tiburon. You advised earlier that the Felidae starseed are the consciousness source for both the earth and feline and canine species of animals. Do all animals on the earth plane originate from Sirius A, from the starseed Felidae? Archangel Metatron responds: no. Sirius A is the source of humanoids and Felidae. Sirius B is the source of the sacred cetacean, dolphin, and whale. Dolphin and whale are of the same source, the cetacean, just as the feline and canine are of the same source, starseed Felidae. Sirius is not merely two binary stars, in the cosmos, with circulating planets. Rather, Sirius is a vibrational frequency of an advanced realm that has achieved crystalline ascension. It is accordingly a sacred celestial resonance and vibrational way of being within vastly expanded consciousness. In this sense, Sirius is within all dimensions, both physical and non-physical. The stars of Sirius are portals or gateways to these other dimensions, and the Felidae, Hathor and Cetacean are here on the earth, in varied matrixial expressions, to assist humanity grow in awareness, to balance the earth and help humanity find their way home. The Sirians are receivers and transmitters of this divine loving energy. Other members of the animal kingdom, in earth in expression, come from a multiplicity of sources. For example, the horse is Arcturian in source. The animal kingdom have truly been your teachers, although they did not choose your human evolutionary path. As we have said, the animal kingdoms are not on the earth to evolve in soul expansion, but rather to support the soul expansion of humanity. We assure you that mankind could not have moved forward as a species had it not been for the beings of the animal kingdom. Indeed, certain of the animal kingdom, such as the bovine and certain other species of the mammal and bird, are here by agreement to provide a food source for mankind. Does that surprise you that this occurs by agreement? And although it is not the topic at hand, the plant kingdom has also been a huge support to mankind. Domesticated animals have benevolent purpose in choosing their earthen expressions. Those of the feline and canine have a unique role of interaction in the aspects of human companionship. This is by a higher sourced service agreement, and we will add the enhanced ability to form the personality meld in household pet derivations of the Felidae is genetically enhanced. Healing interaction. Many humans find that they can interact more easily with pets than they can with other humans. Pets don't talk back. The feline and canine are particularly committed to assist humans in dealing with blockage, in dealing with isolation, particularly as humans become older and alone. Both cats and dogs often teach humans to learn to love again and to open their hearts. Dogs are tied to the human emotional field, cats to the human psychic plane/mental field. The two are very different expressions of the Felidae, but both are focused on your assistance. Both are uniquely capable of forming a fragmentation aspect of the caretaker's personality. When a human forms a personality fragmentation meld with a Felidae or Canidae, that succinct energy can uniquely evolve and often reincarnate, or reattach within other lifetimes and within the same lifetime to continue to assist the owner. Thus a human may have the same energy essence of their cat or dog over a span of 70 years. In several sequential cat or dog bodies. For example, the two cats and one of the dogs that the channel is caretaker for in the present were with him in different bodies as domesticated leopards in a past lifetime in Egypt. Question to Metatron. Pets often become family members, like children to their caretakers. And when they pass over, the caretakers are quite devastated. Can the same soul essence of the pet can reincarnate immediately if the owner obtains a new pet? Metatron. The personality meld of the pet is in essence a unique part of the human caretaker, a personality fragment. When a pet physically dies, the meld fragment consciousness will absolutely remain close by in etheric planes to continue in connection to the human. The human is often able to sense, even see or feel the essence of the pet after it passes over, or even if it runs away or is lost. The owner can communicate with the meld personality essence, and it will indeed reincarnate, re-enter the body of a new pet. This is best if the new pet is obtained within 2 to 3 weeks of the passing, and is the same breed as the previous pet. In a short time the distinct personality traits and characteristics of the previous pet will clearly re-emerge in the new body, and the relationship and support will continue. In the event the new pet is a different breed and/or a different astrological pattern, the similarities may not be as immediately apparent, but the meld essence and support will be the same source. This is important to understand. Closing. In current times of 2016, it is considered fashionable in certain circles to see mankind as the greedy destroyer of the earth and its kingdoms, especially animal, plant and mineral. It is likewise popular in some New Age circles to see man as the arrogant taker who contaminates the earth, destroys the natural earth kingdoms at the expense of future generations. We insert here that a portion of this is absolutely true, and change is indeed required. We do not condone humanity's untoward and irresponsible action in this issue. The point is that some who wish for the better feel all is hopelessly lost, that change for the better will not come. While unified determination to make change for the better is essential, the focusing on hopelessness must stop. That is the wrong application in creating the new earth. Focusing on hopelessness and despair creates hopeless despair. So we offer you an insight of hope. What we wish to point out is that the earth is the dynamic manifestation, at any given time, of your thoughts. Humanity are ever the co-creators of the earth and omni-earth, in all of their vast and myriad probable realities. We tell you again, dear masters, the earth is a magnificent and purposed illusion that is absolutely created by divine thought. Yet at this time, the living Mother Father planet and the kingdoms of the earth are more conscious of the true complex nature of reality than are mankind en masse. When you visit points of power on the earth, it is the earth and spirits of place that are the teachers. It is the sacred site of the angelic Gaia, the living conscious divine being of earth, that energizes, uplifts, anchors, and lovingly aligns the seeking human. It is not the 3D human that aligns or anchors the sacred site. Mankind en masse are, at the present time, unconscious of the fact that you are co-creators of the earth experience. There are other versions of probable reality in holographic time programs in which enlightened, ascended humanity honor each other, the earth and all of her kingdoms in beautiful harmony. Duality programming of the earth plane is intelligently and divinely planned. The trial and error evolution of this experience takes into account the learning curve. And that being said, we tell you that you cannot truly destroy the earth. You can, and will, create the enlightened earth by positive focus on its manifestation, not by focal despair that it has not, as yet, occurred. Nothing is taken from the earth, or from any of the earthen kingdoms, mineral, plant, and animal, that is not fully agreed to, fully permitted, in the linear reality drama hologram. It rarely occurs to you that animal kingdom consciousness came into physicality and earthen form by choice, and that the consciousnesses of such animals had a willing choice in the agreement to support humanity, fully aware of the potentials of man's stages of ignorance as humanity evolves. We urge humanity to honor the sacred directions and elements, air, fire, water, earth and ethereum, and all of the earth kingdoms, animal, mineral and plant. We assure you all are alive, and all have chosen to support your evolution in the purposed illusion of the earth plane. In the not too distant future, humanity will come to realize and not only honor the earth and animal kingdom, but equally honor, acknowledge and indeed love one another, and the beautiful earth that nurtures you. It will occur when you co-create it as so. I am Metatron, with Tiburon of crystalline service, and we share with you these truths. You are beloved. And so it is. And it is so.